people at home. I don't know if, oh, it's turned off. Okay, never mind. This song we're starting with is a call and response, so it doesn't work without you, so I hope you'll sing. It's really obvious where you do, and Tina will help you out. I forget how we were starting this one. Ah, that's right. I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I hear the music.
I hear the music
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
Together we sing. And the whole wide world is my home. I've got the new day. I've got the new day.
I've got the new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I've got the new day.
I've got the new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I've got the new day.
I've got the new day
Down in my soul.
down in my soul. And
The whole wide world is my home. I hear the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I love the silence.
I love the silence
Down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. And I feel the power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
I feel the power
I feel the power
down in my soul.
down in my soul.
And the whole wide world is my home. Oh, yes, it is. And the whole wide world is my home. This one also has a sing-along chorus for you. And the sing-along part kind of happens quickly after I sing. So I'll sing, we come together, 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 and together, in the name of love, we come together,
We come together.
we come together,
We come together.
we come together,
We come
together now,
together
in the name of love. That's it, you got it. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. I recognize the God in you. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 In the name of love, we come together.
Come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together.
In the name of love. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves you and I love you too. Now feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 In the name of love, we come together.
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 In the name of love, from every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, Namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together.
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 In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. Good job. You guys sound great.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. Let's give some more love to Christopher Fricci and the band. I'm Betty Smith, and I'm happy to be here today. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. And thank you to our live stream viewers. We are so grateful that you are sharing this time with us. We're especially grateful for all the online viewers who have been commenting and sharing the service on Facebook and YouTube. Please note, the 11 a.m. service is not live streamed. If you would like information about what is happening at our center, please visit our website, cslsr.org. There you'll find our Sunday bulletin by scrolling down and checking on the picture of the typewriter on our homepage. The bulletin contains everything happening throughout the month at the center. At the Center for Spiritual Living, we are motivated by a vision of a healthy, loving world. It is known as the global vision and calls us to imagine a world that works for everyone. Here is one line of that vision statement. We envision a world where each person has enough food, a home, and a sense of belonging, a world of peace and harmony, enfranchisement and justice. This vision is supported by us through our shared values, which are displayed on this slide. Would you please read them with me? Spiritual living, integrity, love, and compassion. Thank you. We are a community-supported organization, and your generosity helps us sustain our work. There are 5 ways you can contribute financially to the center. You can give online on our website. You can send us a check by U.S. mail. You can text your donation to 707-675-2399. It's really easy. I've done it. You just text the dollar amount that you want to give. And there are baskets at all the exits as you leave service today. We do accept cash. We also offer an auto-giving option where we deduct a donation from your bank account. See the information table if this kind of giving appeals to you. I know that somewhere between the music, the prayer, and the message is exactly what you need to experience for the next step of your spiritual unfoldment. You are welcome here. Now, please enjoy some music before our silent contemplation and prayer.
is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one. There is only one of us. In your eyes it's me I see. There is only one of us. You are my reflection. There is only one.
Perfection, divine perfection, unfolding in everything known and well beyond. This is the totality of life everywhere present, in every face that is met, in every laugh that is heard, in every step that is taken. It is the allness of God unfolding in each moment, right here, right now, and beyond. For this Spirit is the nurturer, the sustainer, the giver of itself in all things everywhere, all the time. I'm one with this. I know it. I feel it. I'm the wave that's in the ocean. Each one here is connected to one another and to this perfection that exists, right alongside anything else. And I claim today, right now, that the loving kindness that exists in each being, the joy, the peace, the light that is the divine itself expresses through each one. And the message is heard and the songs lift up hearts. And that each member, each person sees the face of God when they look upon another, feels the joy of God, helping to lift up the whole, make it even more lovely. I am grateful for the truth of this. And with that, I simply lift it up and release it to the law, that part of God that has already made it so. And so it is. Amen. Good morning. My name is Tamira Hume, and I am a practitioner at our center. And I invite you to read with me this week's affirmation. I am a powerful catalyst of love within society. Thank you.
If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I want to say? If this is my last song, if this is my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? Oh, but fortune and fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. And is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless. Has a hungry soul been fed? Has a child stood a little bit taller 'cause of something I have said? Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. This is my last song. What do I leave behind? What do I pass on if I am out of time?
Good morning. Thank you to the band for the wonderful music. How wonderful is that? And hello to you, beautiful people of the Center for Spiritual Living. Our theme for the month of July, you can find that in our journal. The theme for the month is relationships. There's something weird about my sound up here, Paul. It's echoey. There we go. The theme for the month of July is relationships, and the topic for today is You and Me Create Society. All right. You may notice the highlighted statue on the front of the stage. It is of Rama and Sita, and for our live stream audiences, we do have a picture of it for you so you can see it. This is these two are the central characters of the Hindu epic poem, the Ramayana, and their story is very, very well known and very well loved among Hindu children and adults alike. It's reenacted in dance, it's told through poetry, it's depicted in art, and the story is used to teach children about how integrity is the foundation of society, and how it all begins at home in the way that we treat each other. And so the story of Rama and Sita highlights, among other things, how what is inside of us has something to do with how life happens, how what we think and believe influences the way we treat each other, and how we treat each other creates society. I'm thinking of some words that are usually attributed to Mahatma Gandhi. Sometimes they're attributed to Lao Tzu, and they go like this: watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character, your character. And watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Destiny, well, I think of destiny as the inevitable and necessary outcome that is related to who I am and what I hold to be sacred, what's in my heart. So in this way, then, you and me, we are in partnership with life. We are creating new destinies every moment when we learn something new. Every time we think something new. Every time we choose something new. And then through our spiritual practices, we learn to remain close to our spiritual nature so that the actions we do take create destinies, well, from a consciousness of love and respect and cooperation and kindness and inclusion and equity. The story of Rama and Sita is a story about making choices in difficult circumstances, under impossible conditions, in situations that are completely impossible to resolve, and making those decisions with integrity to what is alive inside the heart, with the care and well-being of all placed above the convenience of the individual. See, Rama was the firstborn son of a king, and so it was Rama's destiny to become the next king. Now, Rama met his wife Sita in an amazing adventure. I don't even have time to tell you all of the glory of that story. It's so wonderful. And basically, I think she chose him. She's a powerful character, powerful presence. And then Rama brings her home to the kingdom to meet the family. And he brings her home on the night before, the evening before his father, the king, is going to announce to the world that he's turning over the throne to the heir apparent, his son, his firstborn, Prince Rama. The whole kingdom is giddy with excitement, and preparations for the coronation are out of control. Wonderful. Now you have to press the pause button for a moment, because we've got to roll back the story a whole bunch. We've got to go back many, many, many years. Many years ago, the king was out in the kingdom and he was fighting a battle against demons. Now, demons I take to represent the chaotic energies of the human nature. He's battling the demons, and one demon knocks him off of his chariot. And just at that moment, when the demon's sword is about to come down and cut his head off, he is rescued by a beautiful warrior princess. And there he is, lying on the battlefield, saved, and he looks up at this magnificent being, and he's so taken, and he pledges to give her whatever she wants in the form of 2 wishes. And she says, "Why, thank you. I'll let you know what it is I want when the time comes." Yeah, you should hear music in the background, sinister music, right? So years passed, and the king, who was already married to his first wife, he then marries 2 additional wives according to the culture, and he has his firstborn child Rama with his first wife. He has 2 twin boys with his second wife, and then he also marries the warrior princess, and he has a son with her. Oh, you should see your faces right now. So now we can fast forward back to the evening before the coronation, and the warrior princess comes to the king and she says, "Honey, do you remember the promise that you made to me way back then?" And he says, "Yes, my love." And she says, "Well, now I know what I want." And the king, who is high on life, everything is coming together at the right time, in the right place, in the right way, and he says, "Name it." And she says, "Well, I want you to declare my son to be the heir of the throne instead of Rama." That's the first wish. And the second wish, I would like you to banish Rama from the kingdom for 14 years, give or take. You know, it'll keep things clean. The king was horrified for several reasons that she would ask such a thing, such a heartbreaking thing. She knew how much he loved Rama. And also he was heartbreaking because she, of all people close to him, would understand that he was a person of integrity and he could not go against his word. Why? Well, in that time, in that culture, the king's word is law and can never be retracted. If the king's word couldn't be counted on, how could society maintain its integrity? So it was understood there that the way leaders treated each other, the way they kept their word, the way they told the truth, the way they respected women, the way they corrected their mistakes, that was the foundation upon which society was built. It was understood that what we do matters. It was understood that what we do comes from who we are, and who we are comes from what we hold sacred in our hearts. So it matters that we know who we are and what lives in us. It matters that the truth be told. And it matters that our words and our actions match that truth. I'm thinking about today and our world leaders today. To me, it seems sometimes that our leaders have a flexible relationship with accuracy. Is it just me? No. I'm thinking today about how difficult it seems for some people who are in power, a tremendous amount of power, to do the right thing, to honor women's autonomy over their own bodies, to stand unambiguously for people who are marginalized, to care for the poor and the unsheltered, to protect the LGBTQI plus communities. It seems very difficult. Last weekend, I went to the Pride billiard event, the pool game, in Petaluma. And somebody on Facebook asked me, why does it have to be a pride pool event? Why can't it just be a pool event? Well, the reason is because LGBTQI plus people are still not safe, even here. As I was walking into the pool hall with my boyfriend, hand in hand, a mixed-gendered couple yelled out a pejorative word that is typically used to obscenely describe gay people in an unkind way. Now, I cannot say the word on air, but it rhymes with bag. And so we turned and went to them and asked them what their intention was. And they explained how our existence disgusted them. And one of them spat out the words, "I'll pray for you tonight." Oh, imagine if people of faith knew exactly how to be in this world, because the sacred texts that they study live in their hearts and tell them exactly how. Imagine if people of faith in America today knew exactly how to love the world and to stand for the oppressed and to feed the hungry and to protect the poor and to care for the stranger and to include, because the teaching from their teacher tells them exactly how to do it. Imagine that. Did you know that there are estimated to be approximately 100 million people of faith in our nature, many of them in positions of power? People who are followers of the dark-skinned, Middle Eastern, poor Jesus, who said that the world would be able to identify his followers by the way they treated each other. Well, I understand why not everyone can stay close to the teaching of Jesus. They're very hard teachings. It's very difficult to be forgiving and inclusive. It's very difficult to be kind to people regardless of where they come from, what language they speak, or what color their skin is. It's very difficult for me to stay close to my own convictions and not fall down in the heat of a moment that touches my buttons. It's difficult for me not to return hate for hate. I get it. Oh, it's one thing to have a principle to believe in. It's another thing to stay close to it. There's a story, it's a parable of an old man who realized as he was getting older that his priorities became more and more focused on what was important. And a young man observing him asked him, "What is your top priority now in your age and wisdom?" And the old man said, "The top priority that I focus on is this: don't fall down." Now, there's something humorous and age-appropriate, but there's also something in it for me. The top priority is something like this: get focused on what is truly important. Hold it in your heart and don't fall away from it. Don't abandon your integrity with what lives in your heart. Nothing is worth losing your center of peace over. You and I, we are going to have to make difficult choices in this life. You and I are going to make mistakes in this life. You and I are going to have to face very unpleasant situations that don't seem to have a resolution in this life. So we must stay focused and not fall away from what lives in our hearts. And then if we do, to come back as quickly as possible. You know, that's what our 6 a.m. Pacific time daily devotional practice helps with. Oh, the stories I have heard from people who tune in on YouTube or Facebook, they tell me that having a daily anchor helps them so much, especially during those moments when it seems like the easier choice is to be angry, the easier choice is to retaliate. Oh, I've got such a lot to learn in that area. It's the same for me, that daily practice to bring me back. When Rama the prince heard what his stepmother had done, when he heard what had happened, he could have railed against it. He would have been in his right. He would have been perfectly in his right. He could have started a civil war. He could have exchanged harsh words with his stepmother. He could have turned the entire court against her. He could have vilified her. But he didn't. He realized that something larger was happening, and he realized that his father was standing in front of an impossible dilemma, a moral dilemma. If he put Prince Rama on the throne, it would have been the popular choice. It would have had the support of the people. He would be honoring the prince's birthright. But to do that, he would have to break a promise that he made. And so Prince Rama went to his wife, Princess Sita, and said something like, I'm imagining, I have to leave the kingdom tonight to preserve the honor of my father and to protect the integrity of the nation. For if the people no longer have confidence in the integrity of the king's word, there will be no hope for society. I'm sorry, I know we just got married yesterday. This is inconvenient. But I can't think only of you and me. And Sita, the role model, the epitome of integrity and spiritual knowledge. She said these now famous words: As shadow is to substance, so is wife to husband. Let me walk ahead of you into the forest to make your passage easier. Now, she didn't say that because she was weak. She didn't say that because she had no identity outside of the marriage. She would have been perfectly in her rights to say, bye-bye. She would have been supported if she lashed out. But she didn't. Because she knew who she was, and she knew what lived in her heart, and she knew what Rama was doing was right. She understood how difficult it was for him, for her, for them, for the nation, for the king. And she knew that there was no easy way out, and she knew that any easy way out would cause the suffering of untold millions for generations. And because she knew who she was, because she had in her heart what was sacred, the choice for her was clear. Not easy, clear. She knew what to do. Without hesitation, without remorse, without ambiguity, she would go into exile with her mate to create new destinies, different destinies of hope and promise. Well, I wish I could tell you that the story of Rama and Sita had a happy ending. It really doesn't. Happy would be too frivolous a word to describe the lives of worth and meaning that they had. That which seemed to be an unjust and unfair and bad choice led eventually to the liberation and freedom of countless thousands of people. And it led to personal, deep spiritual growth for both of them. They did eventually return to the kingdom and the throne. It's a massive story. And on the way, over and over and over, they faced, just like you and I do, difficult and impossible decisions that they had to make, difficult and impossible situations that they had to respond to. They had to make choices over and over again, always keeping the welfare of all in mind. They had to feed the hungry. They had to take care of the poor. They had to defend the weak. And they did so over and over again by turning to that which lived inside of them and drawing upon it. The living Spirit Almighty, the Godhead, the consciousness of unity with all life. And they did not fall down from that. They did not fall down from that which they held sacred in their hearts. My heart aches to think that LGBTQI plus people still face persecution in our own county. My heart breaks to think that women are still treated unequally in our world. My heart breaks to think that Black, Indigenous, and people of color continue to have to explain that racism is a thing. But my heart also soars with gladness to think that there are people today in whose hearts Rama and Sita live and guide. My heart soars and sings with gratitude, well, for the evangelical Christians like John Pavlovitz, who are loud, vocal allies. My heart soars with gratitude for you, the people of the Center for Spiritual Living, who are unambiguously in support of women's autonomy, unambiguously in support of the lives of Black, Indigenous, and people of color, unambiguously in support of gender equity and equality, unambiguously in support of LGBTQI plus lives, and who work diligently every day to not fall down and to let the integrity of Rama and Sita guide them into right choices and compassionate actions. I give thanks for you. I invite you to take a breath in with me. And let these words from our founder be our spiritual practice. I am never alone, for I have as companions and friends those people who are drawn to me by the ever-active law of attraction. I desire to be loved, therefore I allow myself to love greatly, to feel warmly inclined to people, to be interested in them and helpful on their behalf. I give as I wish to receive, and I realize that it is not enough for me to profess that I love people. I must really love people more dearly than I have ever loved before, because all people are my family and all beings are my kin. Today, as I go into the world, I do not outline who shall be my friends and companions, for there is in me no more any desire to coerce, to compel, or to suggest to anyone. The spiritual laws of this life bring into contact and relationship with me all those people in whose company I find peace and enjoyment, and to whom I may give the most. I am happy and radiant, for I enjoy at all times the perfect companionship of the living Spirit within me, and I trust it implicitly to bring into my environment and atmosphere opportunities to contribute to society. As I love and cooperate with my world, so does my world love and give to me cooperation. And I celebrate and rejoice in all of the companionship that is available to me. And I know that there is that within me that is perfect, wholesome, and is guiding me even now to right choices and compassionate actions. And for that, I do give thanks. And so it is. I invite you to let the next breath you take be deeper than the one before. And to exhale as we make the transition to the next part of our service. This is typically in pre-pandemic times, the time when we would pass the basket for the offering, because as you heard Betty say, we are a community-supported organization. And so we like to pause so that we don't skip over the sacred nature of our sharing. It also gives me an opportunity to say thank you to the hundreds of people who have not fallen away during the 2.5 years of the pandemic. And whether they are attending online, as you may be today, or in person, have stayed close to our center so that it may continue. The pandemic has taken its toll on many people. Some of our people have had to relocate. Some of them have lost their income, their work. Some of them have struggled with health. Some are still struggling with isolation because of compromised health situations. So it is taking its toll on us as an organization. And we are experiencing a drop in contributions more than we ever have in the history of our organization. So I would just like to ask you, if you have fallen away from contributing for whatever the reason, to reach out to us so that we may, first of all, offer spiritual support, or maybe help you figure out a way to come back, because it could just be that there's so many other things going on in your life that it's fallen out of a practice. And then for those of you, for some people who have the ability to contribute extra, little more than usual, together we can make it through. We have been tightening the belt and addressing expenditures, and we have a staff and a board of trustees that are doing the work of the entire organization so that it will continue to be here for future generations. And we have always had a tradition of frank, truthful conversations about our finances. The membership have required that, and we are glad to give it. So as you think about that, let me also let you know that our giving intention season is coming up in a couple of months. So you have some time to think about, what do you want to contribute to the Center for Spiritual Living next year, so that you can declare that. Then we can take that information and build a budget for next year. We still have to make it through the end of the year. And we are looking at a deficit of over $100,000 in giving. So that's our frank conversation. But you heard me begin with gratitude, right? I want to be clear to thank you for being here, for showing up, for sending notes of encouragement and messages of love, and for contributing. We are doing a beautiful thing together at the Center for Spiritual Living. Now, I invite you to think of whatever gift you may have given to the center, whether that is by watching online, or sitting in the audience, or volunteering, or moving things around in the parking lot, or by writing a check, or texting a text for a contribution, or dropping cash in the basket, whatever way. Or maybe your gift was through a prayer that you said for this community. And thinking of that, won't you place your hand on your chest, close to your heart, as a symbol of your heart connection to this, your spiritual home, and say after me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. And now Betty has some announcements about our community to make. Thank you, Betty.
Okay, it's time to find out what's going on in our amazing community. If you've been a volunteer at the center during the pandemic, we are inviting you to an informal snack and chat to appreciate each other on Saturday, July 30th from 10 to 11 a.m. Please visit our website to RSVP so we know if you're coming. By just click on the picture of the cup of coffee. Did you know we have a library? Upstairs on the second floor is our Ernest Holmes Lending Library, and it's now open on Sundays from 10 to 12:30. We have books and we have books and audio and video recordings on a wide variety of subjects that can help you continue your exploration of spirituality and consciousness. We also have multiple copies of textbooks that can be checked out for our classes. Just take the stairs near Gritton Chapel to start browsing. Every year, our center partners with 12 nonprofit organizations that are doing good work in the world. Nominations are now open for the 2023 nonprofit partners. We accept all nominations of organizations, local, national, and international, those whose values are in alignment with our global vision. Please submit your nominations by Sunday, July 31st. The form link is on our website. Just click on the photo of the pink flowers. The next offering of our education ministry is a course I will be teaching on meditation, and it starts on Thursday evening, August 18th. It's called The Power of Meditation, based on Dr. Edwards' sorry. It's the book, back to the book, and the class, the name of the class, they're the same. The Power of Meditation. It's Dr. Edwards' award-winning book. That's how I based the title of the course. I love to teach and talk about meditation, and we will practice together on Zoom with time for discussion and sharing. I hope you can join me. Registration is now open on our website. And now Reverend Tara has a special announcement about advanced spiritual living classes. Before her announcement, I want to remind you that we have a scholarship program that can provide financial assistance with our core classes like this one. If you would like to find out more about those scholarships, please talk to Linda Almeida or Reverend Tara. Have a wonderful week, and be sure to check out the new art display in the social hall from Daniel Celador. And now here's Reverend Tara.
Advanced Spiritual Living. The title of this class may be a bit off-putting, but I invite you to consider joining this 30-week spiritual practice course, whether or not you're considering becoming a practitioner. There are 3 terms that Reverend Russ and I will be sharing beginning in September. The first term is a deep inquiry into your core beliefs and how you got to be the way you are now. It suggests you may shift the beliefs that no longer serve you. In Term 2, the class dives into spiritual mind treatment as well as how our thoughts affect our lives. Term 3 focuses on living life fully, exploring consciousness, living in the world, and being of service. The emphasis is on bringing the sacred into the everyday, not just into your spiritual practice. If you've taken some of our core classes and this class intrigues you, reach out to Linda Almeida to find out more. There's also information on the website. I look forward to seeing you.
We have coloring pages in the social hall for young ones coming to our center who might want to color in as they sit through the service, either in the family room or right in the sanctuary. And today, I was the recipient of a coloring page. Molly brought to me, and she's on duty, and she's an usher today. She brought and shared with me a coloring page, and so now it's my job to color it in and add to our ever-growing display of colored-in pages outside. So thank you, Molly, and thank you for volunteering. After service prayer is available on Zoom, and we also have a prayer request box in the social hall where you can drop a prayer request, where our prayer practitioners will continue to support you for whatever it is that you request. Now it is time for us to close our service, so I invite you to stand saying, "Something wonderful is happening through me right now." It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind. Life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is, and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you are guided, inspired, and sustained by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor that presence within. And so it is. Let us close in music. I'll see you again soon. Thank you for coming.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I